Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna take another look at Frosted Caribou, who is once again starting a fight with larger creators who don't enjoy the hobby the same way that she does. This time taking shots at Gary. Here we got a nice little tweet saying, despite Gary actively hurting Pokemon, including falsely inflating the market and discrediting kids and players in the hobby, that's all written off by his followers. Gary continuously flaunts being poker rich while calling himself king and thriving off his own self-gain. I don't know. I guess anyone that enjoys collecting or investing in Pokemon is evil, according to her. This has kind of been the mentality of 2020, 2021, where for some reason everyone's an evil scalper. It has nothing to do with the market conditions. It's all Gary's fault. It's Logan's fault. It's it's Leon's fault. We'll blame everyone here in the images. So there's this little snippet that makes Gary look pretty bad, but very taken out of context. And we'll play that maybe real quick. It's only a minute.
EGS 10 signed.
Yes.
Wow.
In this case, the signature means very little.
Yeah.
Arita, who did design that Charizard, and
Keywords in this case, and also the context really matters here, because he's more talking about the fact that people seek out these really pristine condition cards, and even the top collectors or biggest fans of these artists usually won't have their most their best condition card, or if they have like a PSA 10 or something like that, they're not going to crack the case open and get that signed. They'd much rather have a copy that they can sign otherwise. And there's some people that just don't like the signature in general. Like it's nothing to do with the fact that he doesn't think the artist matters. As we'll see, he has multiple cards signed by Rita, and I'm sure other artists as well, as he's been to many events over the years. This is dumb, and
it's signed on the case, not the card.
Right.
I mean, never would you let him sign that card, because that's extremely special.
So he's talking about the condition on the card is extremely special. So in his opinion, I mean, I guess in most people's opinion, you wouldn't have this signed by the artist. Not saying that the artist isn't great. He's not saying anything of the sort. Taken out of context, mashed together to make him look bad.
Mitsurito,
Yeah.
the artist. Yeah, but which in a lot of cases that's a big deal. But this card is such a big deal. His signature means nothing. Yeah, I could take.
We'll zoom in there for
take
effect.
it off of there.
Why?
It's just on the case. It's not on the card.
So it's on the case. This is a thing that happens a lot of the time. People will get it signed on the case just because they want to keep the integrity of the card itself, or the condition of the card as immaculate as it is. And many people do this. Many true collectors, many people that have been in the hobby forever. It's just
Hi, I'm Mr. Writer.
we're not even going to play this part because this is just playing into the fact that we're going to get emotional with Arita talking about his artwork. So yeah, here we go. We got the poker rich. Everything monetary is bad. If you're not a TCG player, then get out of my Pokemon, says Caribou. Here we have a response from Gary. He's always plugging charities, specifically for autism, and in partnership with the Aoki Foundation. I should say in advance here that Gary can have bad takes. Everyone can have bad takes, or you can disagree with them. But in general, Gary is a very kind individual. I've met him in person. I remember when I was new to the hobby, or when I got back into collecting Pokemon cards. He's always on E4, ready to answer questions from new collectors or or anyone else that is looking for information, I think he has close to 16,000 posts or something on there, which is ridiculous. He's on there night and day. I was actually in Las Vegas and asked if he would like to go for a drink or lunch or something, and he ended up actually inviting me not only to lunch but also to his house. We checked out some Pokemon cards, and I got to meet his lovely family. They were all extremely kind, and I'm a strong believer in the fact that Gary would help pretty well anyone. So it's kind of it's not nice to see someone attacking him in this way. When even though it is dollar value driven, and I'm sure he loves attention, like anyone on social media. He loves to be part of the Pokemon community, and the attention that brings, especially with the collection that he has. So anyway, I just suggest you do a little bit more digging, because it's just kind of like a lot of little jabs and hit pieces. I don't agree with everything that he says, but I do think his intentions are in the right spot almost always. So here we go. Just a little reminder that Frosted Caribou got into Pokemon 2 years ago, after, I guess, Twitch streaming, trying to be a gamer girl on Twitch, and that didn't work out. So then she got into Pokemon. For someone that is so hard on the fact that you're not a real Pokemon person if you don't play the TCG, is kind of ridiculous, because she was learning to play 2 years ago. I remember watching this video, and she has no idea at this point what's going on. I'm sure she's better at the game now if she's been playing, but to be that critical of everyone that doesn't play the game when you just got into the hobby and started playing the game is a little bit ridiculous to me. Also, when you're complaining about stuff not being on the shelf, and yet you have this video called "Buying and Opening Every Pokemon Card Pack from 5 Stores. Are we addicted? Yes." I mean, I don't know. I think that might be worse than all these evil scalpers that you're going after. I guess I should also mention this little video here that she's still going on it. It's from this little YouTuber that seems like he's just starting out. I didn't see I don't know if he ever shows his face, but it seems a little bit cowardly to also be throwing shots at Gary when you're gonna conceal your identity, I guess. So I don't know. I watched this on 2X. It seems to insinuate the fact that they think that Pawn Stars is real. I'm sure there's some kind of disclosure agreement with Gary on Pawn Stars, but if you think Pawn Stars is real, you have got to be kidding yourself. If you think any part of Pawn Stars is real, you got to give your head a shake. You might as well think that Storage Wars is real. I got bad news for you. That's also scripted and made up. They just get stuff on there that's interesting. I'm sure maybe they have transactions where they buy the stuff some of the time, but for the most part, it's entertainment. And to think that that's real is ridiculous. He seems to base a whole lot of that around that, and also that Graham Stephan interview. They like to pull stuff out of there and claim that the Gary is evil. He calls out some other stuff. Gary recently in a YouTube video was joking about the amount of subs that he had. This was a joke. It was very clearly a joke. So claiming that he's just lying about the amount of subscribers he has when it shows at the bottom. It was a joke on how old he was and that he wasn't good with technology. So I don't know if that's dishonest or this person is it just went over their head. What else? We got the Arita signature. More harping on the Arita signature. It's not that he doesn't appreciate artists. He does. He has many cards that are signed. This was just in reference to the card at hand being in such good condition that he would prefer to not have it signed, and so would many other collectors. Also, like, more market blame. I don't know if we're also going to blame Logan Paul and Gary for the current real estate market of the price of wood, or like any of the other collectibles, the sports cards and stuff like that. Also tosses in that everything's in a bubble. I mean, surely things are going to retrace, but also with the rate of inflation, that's just, it is what it is. It's not like Pokemon cards that are going to be worth $0. Is it going to end up a lot closer to what it was back in like 2018, 2019? Probably. Looking a whole lot that way after people lose interest. A lot of people that enter the hobby don't really stick around for more than a year, and it has nothing to do with not being able to get product or anything like that. This was long before that. People just generally lose interest in something. So, all right. So, I guess point being here, 2 years of Pokemon TCG elitism. I play the TCG. I think it's cool if people want to try it, but there's no denying that the majority of Pokemon cards in general, whether it was back in 1999 when I was a kid collecting, we didn't really play the TCG. We attempted to. We probably played it wrong most of the time. But the biggest factor was we wanted to collect the cards. It was an exciting time. It was hard to get product then, just the same way it was hard to get product now, just because of the sheer amount of interest in the game. So you can't really discount that. I should also mention that with Gary doing all this charity work, does it gain him attention and followers and everything else? Yes, but at the same time, at least he's finding a way to give back or to give into something that isn't himself at the same time. So, like, it's ridiculous to think that this is some kind of like elaborate scam that the charity isn't real or anything else. He does care about the cause, and so does his wife. In contrast, let's take a look at Frosted Caribou, who does nothing but take from the hobby. We have Help Boo Get Back on YouTube. So here she goes on about how she doesn't have a job. She recently lost her job and doesn't want to make a GoFundMe, but made a GoFundMe to fund a new computer instead of getting a job and buying it herself. I don't know. That might be the opposite of doing charity work within the Pokemon community. You let me know in the comments below. And then at the same time, she'll post about how she's buying stuff that she doesn't necessarily need. Adopting fish online. I don't know if that was expensive or not. I have no desire to adopt fish online. And then buying countless plushies and everything else. So, also, her boyfriend was working. I guess her boyfriend didn't want to buy her a computer. Didn't think that it was a good investment in terms of making this her career path. So then we got more fan mail. Hey guys, send me stuff. In contrast, I've actually offered to send Gary things. Just some cool things that maybe be more, not necessarily valuable, but some stuff that was in Canada only, and I thought maybe that'd be something cool that I could send him that he wouldn't have, where he does have a lot of the older stuff. Important to note that I also got a lot of my first edition base from Gary when I first started. So, I don't know. He's just been helpful all around to new people that join. Here we go. We got another fan mail. Hey guys, send me some PSA cards. I don't know, as a TCG enthusiast only and hating the value of cards, why you would ever want graded cards. In my opinion, graded cards is the only reason that you would ever want those. For some reason, you really like plastic and taking out more space because they don't offer any protection in terms of light or water damage. So this is some more fan mail, more taking from the. You seeing the theme here, but don't let you. This is just gonna result, if it hasn't already, in playing the victim card. I'm a female content creator, and it sucks. Let me just get off of here, guys. Give me some sympathy. This has nothing to do with you being a female content creator. I mean, there is a little bit of that where you might be attracting an audience that is going to be a little bit more toxic in that respect, but we'll take a look at that. So here we go. We got a frog plopper saying it's annoying because you're probably going to blow up and have a ton of subscribers only because you're an attractive woman. I'm sure it doesn't help. It doesn't hurt. Do you still make content and is it good? Maybe people are there for the content, but at the same time, I don't know. It's getting a little twitchy. There we got it. Everything's sexist. Every sexist comment I get on YouTube only adds +5 cuteness to my future outfits. The sexist comments, if we're gonna be honest here, you might be attracting an audience that's going to say a lot of that stuff. You're gonna have some horny little boys that want to see thighs and legs and feet. This is the gaming, back in the gaming days, which is kind of what Twitch has turned into now, with all that hot tub meta and everything else. It's basically just sexifying things that shouldn't be sexified. And even if this is not as extreme as what's been going on Twitch, it's still pretty much the same thing. Like when you're taking butt shots, and you think you're not attracting like little boys and incels that want to look at that stuff. For whatever reason, it has to be in the... It's especially attractive to them in the context of it's not supposed to be a thing that is sexualized, but I mean, do you really? And then this also, at the same time, you'll claim that it's sexist to point this out, but what if some girl growing up, like little girl, wants to be a PokeTuber, or they want to stream on Twitch or anything else? Then you've set this standard where I have to be straddling a Squirtle plushie on the floor in my posts in order to get attention. Or like, why in the world do you need to tell everyone on your Pokemon Twitter that you found a bathing suit top and now you're modeling it for them? For whatever reason, the Pokemon plushies have to be in the crotch region. I mean, there's a million other shots that you could have taken there. So here we got some more victim stuff. This week I felt the absolute lowest levels of self-esteem I have in a long time. Please, guys, compliment me. So I thought I'd start off today outlining two of my favorite attributes about myself: my eyeballs and my booty. So like, again, like, this is, if it wasn't warranted, or like you weren't attracting the little boys that are gonna put sexist comments, or the people that, you know, that are gonna search this stuff out, it's kind of like, okay, you have to hold somebody responsible when they're out of line, regardless of how spicy you want to make your posts. But at the same time, it's just gonna happen. It's the internet. You got guys like the one that you retweeted that are gonna hide their face online, hide behind a monitor, and they're gonna put "LOL, you so sexy, BB girl" in your comments. Yeah, it's gonna happen. So here we go, getting into even more. Hey guys, pay me money. This one borderlining, but not quite at the OnlyFans level. We're gonna do Oleana cosplays for Patreon dollars. And then just like in general, like, I don't know, I don't understand. Maybe people like the baby talk that she does in her videos, and like, is there any reason to be in booty shorts on the floor other than the little boys that are eating that up? So here, like, I don't like Logan Paul. I don't think the market was anything to do with Logan Paul. Well, not that it wasn't anything to do with, I think it was going to do the same thing, just like the other collectibles. So I'm almost positive that if Logan had purchased this, there would have been many articles written about it. If not, that means Gary let him borrow it just to show the drive up prices. It's never enough money for them. What? No. So, like, coming to conclusions already, and then she got corrected by probably someone in the comments. So she thought that like Gary let him borrow the card. So she's like just ready to pounce on everyone that's this evil investor. Oh, here we go. Here's the photo shoot. So you're gonna take spicy pictures and then promise that they're gonna be more spicy if you subscribe to the Patreon. Like, what is this? Access to Instagram exclusive stories only seen by Boo's close friends list. I mean, like, one can only assume that that's what's behind door number sticker club. But I don't know, guys. It's ridiculous. Don't listen to this crap. And maybe we'll stick the Aoki Foundation links down in the description. Don't let people like this get you down. I don't understand the like people calling it gatekeeping. It's like some kind of elitism that it's just weird. It's just weird that someone that's been in the hobby for 2 years is going to like try to gatekeep Gary, who's been in the hobby since before it was in English. It's absurd to me. Like, and not to mention that he's not in it for the monetary value. You might think that now because he'll post prices and that's what gets clicks on videos, just like spicy thumbnails showing your belly and thighs gets clicks. Both effective apparently, at least to an extent. But I think it's a lot of being bitter because there's no way for her to compete with this when she's got to e-beg for a computer instead of getting a job and buying it. Gary has been in the hobby the whole time. Pokemon cards were pretty much dead in the early 2000s. And he stuck with it. So, like, can you really blame him? Can you say that he was in it for the money? Did he know that all these years later they would blow up? I'm going to say probably not. That's also why he collected a lot of other stuff that is probably not worth that much money. I noticed that he had some Mage Knights, which I thought was really cool because I enjoyed those as a kid as well. But he's just a collector, and for this to go up in value is great for him, and it's great that he's reaching out and able to use his status and his collection to do what he wants to do and to help out with the charity. So, all right, guys, that's pretty well it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.